Perfect. All right, welcome to another week of kvCORE. I thought I had the wrong date. I was late to a meeting earlier, and I was like, oh no, I messed up again. So welcome back to another week of kvCORE. Today, we are going to talk about leads with text messages, smart numbers, and we are going to look at Craigslist. If you did your homework, type homework in the chat box. Everybody was supposed to get their Craigslist account started. And if you're logging in today, log in from Chrome because Craigslist needs you to be on a Chrome web browser. And if you did your homework, which I don't see homework yet, but if you did your homework, then you would have added an extension. And no worries if you didn't, don't worry. And some of us aren't even going to use Craigslist, but it's a great feature, another lead generation tool. So I was pretty excited about that when I saw it and I tested it out and it works. All right. So let me first talk to you guys about our text numbers. Have you ever seen where someone says text 312 to this number and then this, or text 312 to 5678 to get my list of homes or or to connect with me or anything of that nature. Have you guys been seeing that lately? And let me open up my screen if I see anybody. Terry, have you seen that?
I have.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we actually have the capability of doing that ourselves, and it's through kvCORE, believe it or not. All right. So that's just another great feature that we have with kvCORE. Let me see if I can move my screen around. I got all nervous, so I messed up my screens. Now, let me see. There we go. All right, so we're going to find it on our kvCORE platform under lead engine, all lead engine tools. And we're going to look for call capture. Okay. Call capture is what we're going to be talking about today. And what it basically does is it helps us to set up well, we actually all already have a number. So I want everybody, if you were wondering what that number was under your name, it is actually, that's your smart number. That's how we're going to capture these leads. That's where all of our text messages come from that number and everything. But if you want to find where our lead tools are, you're going to go to all lead engine. I'm going to mute everybody just because I got some background noise. Perfect. All right. So once we get there, let me give you an example of what these things look like first too. Here's an example of what you may see. If you've never seen it, you may have some signs. You may have it on your business card, but it'll basically says, search all listings on your smartphone, text RED to this number, or you could even use a QR code or however, whatever. This is what it could possibly look like. That's just an example there, or I'll show you an example on someone's business card. And then I'll do an actual demo. So this person chose to have this on their business card. Find homes near you, download my app. And basically what this does is it is exactly what it says. It captures, it's a text or call capture. So it captures the callers, basically almost like a caller identification. It captures their information while they are trying to get something from you. So instead of it being, a landing page or a website, it's basically text messaging. So what do you get? A phone number, which we need, right? Or which we love to have. We have a phone number, and we have a correct phone number, by the way, because it's done from their telephone. All right, and an example of an ad or an example of maybe even a post on social media to introduce this or to gather information would be something very similar. I had ChatGPT to write this for me one day. So it's interested in calling Charlotte home, text listing, and then that's where you'll put your smart number for exclusive details on our latest gem. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade, this could be the one you've been searching for. Don't miss out. Let's make your home ownership dreams a reality. And ChatGPT personalizes it to me, so they've got my hashtags and all of that good stuff in there. So you've seen that as well. Then you just heard me say something about a smart number. And don't worry, I'm just going to show you guys these slides first, and then we're going to actually do this. So your smart number is basically a number that you have been given as an EXP agent in an office. Basically, we're all in offices, even though we're virtual. That number is categorized to or personalized to your office. If you don't pay any additional monies, everybody in your office has the same number. Now, why that number is smart, or how that number recognizes you out of all of the other agents in the office, is that they surf your contacts to see who this contact is trying to reach. It's kind of smart. So if, say Terry is a contact in my database and he calls this smart number or texts this smart number, and I've been communicating with Terry, then that call and that text will be routed to me. Now, say Terry is in my database, but he's also in Zelda's database. Terry's call or text message will go to whoever was the last person to communicate with him. All right, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, because it's very important that you are talking to your leads, you are working these leads, you are talking to your contacts, you are communicating with people in your database, okay? The next question I generally get is, Nakia, I don't want the same number as Terry, because if we both have the same lead, I want to make sure that I get the calls. And text messages. You're able to purchase your own smart number, and I believe it's on the screen, $27 a month. So if you want your own smart number, you may do that. But let's take a look at smart numbers and get you to learn about smart numbers before you make a decision on spending money, okay? So I'm gonna take all of that I just said as a 10,000 mile overview above, the planes just flying through. We are going to test these features, and I'm going to show you one, and then we all can create one as well. We can create one together, and then I'll show you how to create, and while I show you, you'll know how to create your own as well. Now, I just need to get back to the web browser. Okay, perfect. All right, now let me shift my screen, get everything I can get up there. We are going to go to kvCORE. Now, I have great news. I'm going to show y'all something first before I get going, and it's my dashboard. Has anybody been having success with kvCORE? Before I brag, I want somebody else at least. Anybody had success with any of these things that we've learned lately before I start bragging and before I show you guys my results? Anybody? Come on, step up. Terry, I know it's you. Tell me you've had some type of success with something. Don't make me be the only one today.
I have to admit, I was traveling this past week, and I have not dived into everything, but I got a part of your last week's session. I love that you can do a CMA presentation right out of kvCORE. That was awesome.
Right.
So I'm playing around with that one because I do have to do an update on a listing presentation. So I'm like psyched about that. So.
Okay, good. All right. Well, at least someone's excited about something. Well, let me tell you guys why I'm excited, or let me just do show and tell. Let me cut my camera off first so that my computer doesn't move too slow. Look at all of the activity that's going on in my kvCORE. And now, I don't know if you can see closely or not, but 4 hours, 15 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, 21 hours, a day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago. Hold on, because it's going to continue. Look at that. Same client. I can see every house that she's looking at, right? Look at that. For 2 days, she's been looking at houses. Up day 3, she's still looking at houses, right? Again, again, again. But I wanted to show y'all something else too. I've gotten 2 general leads. They must have just been on EXP's kvCORE website looking, and they must be in my area. And those leads were routed to me. I don't know how. I just think that it's an algorithm thing, but this one right here, 3 days ago, someone viewed a listing in my area, and I got a notification that I have a new lead, and it's just from the company website, it said. Okay. So, and of course I called immediately. And so evidently Carly must have been in our system some type of way, but Carly was letting her friend at work look at listings while they were at work, and they were using her phone, evidently. Yeah, they were using her phone because you could tell it's mobile. They were using her phone, but I got a lead. So evidently, all of this lead generation stuff actually works if we work it. And I think kvCORE has recognized that I've just been working in kvCORE. If you guys still see, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I've been getting new leads and putting all of my leads in. Here's another client looking at houses. I've been talking to her. She's looking at houses. Here's this other client again. But look at this. So we met 7 days ago, and look, I have a whole page. Look at all of this stuff that's been going on in my kvCORE. Okay. Like literally, I am on fire in kvCORE. I'm on fire so much that I had to turn notifications on my kvCORE app. So before we leave today, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I hope everybody by now already has the kvCORE agent app on their phones, but we need to look at the notifications that we have set up, because now I need text messages. So I get a text message when Constance looked at this house 4 times. So kvCORE sent me a text message to tell me that Constance looked at this house 4 times. So now I'm kind of like on it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, is this the one for Constance? So I'm looking for more information, or I'm already knowing that I may need to send her more information, or, or maybe that I need to schedule an appointment. So I am loving kvCORE right now, just so y'all know. Okay. But I thought that I would show you that I'm not only talking this stuff to y'all once a week, I'm actually doing these things myself. So I basically know, I knew they work, but it's working is what's important, right? All right, so let's jump right into our all lead engine tools. Anybody have any questions on that dashboard, or, understanding what we're seeing when our client is in our working or doing things on their own, and how we are seeing this? Anybody? All right, y'all quiet this week too. They were quiet last week, Terry, too, so I'm gonna keep going.
So just out of curiosity, where is it pulling the data from that's showing that they're seeing these homes?
So she's using, remember we shared our apps, and we shared she's looking on the app. I shared that app with her, so I can see everything that she's doing. And same for Dag Marie, my client Dag Marie, she's using the app too. That's why I say it's important for us to share our app, or even our website. If they're using our website and they're already in our kvCORE, then we can see that as well. And you can tell, so right here, Constance is actually on the website here. You could tell if they're on the website or the app with these little signals here.
Okay,
so Constance,
so
I can tell when she's on the go, she's on the app, but sometimes she's on the website as well.
Oh, okay, awesome. So this must be pulling from when they're searching on realtor.com, because I've got that tied in, because these are my realtor.com leads that are showing up.
Yes. Yours is, you are synced into your realtor.com. So yes. And for anybody who wasn't here that week, that we learned that you can sync your kvCORE with Zillow and with Zillow and Realtor.com. So if you are using those platforms, it's going to be important that you sync the two websites, and it's an easy walkthrough process. They walk you right through it. There's a video, there's step-by-step instructions on how to sync these tools together. That you don't want to miss that step. Because like Terry's looking now at his, he can see what his clients are doing, and it's dragging the information right over here into kvCORE as well.
And the beauty of it is what I realized this past week too, is kvCORE, when they view a home, kvCORE sends out a quick email stating, hey, I've seen you viewing this home. What information can I provide? Something along those lines. But kvCORE automatically sends out an email.
Exactly. And text messages. Because one of my clients get one of my new leads right here. I got another one, right? Where is she? She is a couple days ago. Here we go. Look at that. She sent a text, kvCORE sent a text message out and she responded. So it also gave me her response. And she was like, she called me first, or she sent me a text on my personal phone number. Because remember, I have just a company smart number. So these text messages go out from the smart number, but she texted me on my personal number and said, hey, Nakia, is this you? Now it has my name and it has my email, it has Nakia Evans and eXp Realty there, but she just wanted to make sure that it wasn't one of those spam type thing. So I explained to her that my system does some automation for me while I'm sleeping or while I'm busy. So yeah, she could go ahead and answer when she wants to answer, or ignore it if she wants to ignore it. But she did wind up answering the question. But they send really engaging text messages, and really people respond. I had a lead on another system, Terry. I got this other system I work with leads on, and the guy wasn't answering their text message. So I put him in kvCORE, and he answered the text message in kvCORE. So I'm literally text messaging him from two different systems, but he went in and answered over here. And we had a whole conversation. I was excited about that too, because I was like, oh, this guy right here, Jim Bates. Now, he said he doesn't need help at this time, but still he answered, we're communicating back and forth. And just to be honest with y'all, I just put him on a campaign anyway. I'm one of those people. I'm going to put you on a campaign, and when you tell me to go away, kick rocks, then I'll kick rocks. But until then, I'm just going to set you up on a campaign, and you're just going to hear from me every now and again. That's until awesome. You don't want to hear from me. I'm that person. Especially if you talk to me and see right here, he said, I'm just looking, he purchased 2 homes, but if he sees one he's like, then he wants to buy it. So that's why I still want to communicate with him. Like he's not sure he's going to buy one right now, but he may. So I'm staying in touch with you, sir. And I also asked him, when I replied to this, I asked him, did he want me to set him up on an automated property search? And that's when he said, no, not at this time. But he never told me to stop calling him or stop emailing him, texting him, or anything. So until he does, he's going to hear from Nakia. All right, so I was pretty excited about that. So I went and found some more old leads and started communicating with them. If you can see how I put all these people in here. So, and actually today, Ralph, look at this. Ralph communicated with me today. So I'm on fire, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm on fire, and I'm loving all of these tools that we're learning about. All right. All right, let's jump back over here to lead engine. Let me calm my excitement down. Lead engine tools, okay? Or no. I don't want to go to lead engine tools. I want to go to, let me see if it's marketing. Yes. Where am I called? Nope. All right, I get lost too with kvCORE. Wait a minute. Maybe it's listings. No. I think it is all engine. Let me see. Yeah, it is all engine. Sorry, I missed the button. It's all engine, lead engine, and then we are going to go to call and text capture. We're just going to hit get started. So when you get to this page, there is the definition, there is the description of what's going on here. If you don't understand from what I'm talking about and you just want to read this, it describes to you how a smart number works. Just, I gave you guys the overview. You know, we all have it. We're in the office. We all have it. It knows who's trying to talk to us because these people are in our database. So they scrub it, they find us, they connect us. Okay. If we don't want to use this office smart number, then we can order our own. It's right there. Now, remember we talked about the text codes. EXP and kvCORE has set us up with a generalized text code. So as soon as you open up kvCORE, you should just see one that says your personal text code is Nakia E. So if I told someone to text this number and type in Nakia E, that person is going to be routed to me and routed right into my kvCORE. Okay. And again, it just works very similar. If they get Nakia E, it doesn't matter if they're in Zelda's, Terry's, and Steve's database. If they say Nakia E in this smart number text, they are going to be routed to me. Okay. Now, say, all right, we got Nakia E, but I want another one, just another general one. Or let me also stop right here and tell you guys, if you're in more than one office, you have more than one smart number. And if you looked at the screen, you may have seen this and were wondering, well, why does Nakia have another Nakia E and with another phone number? Because I'm in a Maryland office and I'm in a North Carolina office. So I do have two smart numbers and with this Nakia E code. And I can use both of these smart numbers as well. And if I were you and I was in two different states, I would use both of them to help you recognize where these people are coming from. Because don't forget, kvCORE is going to keep track and it is going to note, you know, that someone sent a text to this number. They sent the Nakia E to this number, or they sent the Nakia E to this Maryland number. They will keep that information and it will go into the contacts information as well. All right. So if we want to set up a custom code, let's think of a reason we would use this thing. Maybe I'm at an open house and I'm hosting the open house, but I want people at the open house to text me something so that I can contact them later or get them some additional information. So let me tell you guys something. If I tried open house, I'm betting that open house may already be in use. Okay. So you got to think of some things that another agent isn't already using, because you may get an error code that someone else is already using this code. Let's try open house just for the sake of it. And what happens is if they text open house to our smart number, there's going to be an automated message that goes back to them. Okay. So we could say something like, thanks for attending my open house. Here's my contact information. We can do something like that. And then we would say, you know, type it all in there. I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna get rid of it. But I'm really doing this because I hope it's already in use so I can show you guys the error code. Let's check it out. Don't forget, with these codes, we learned about hashtags, right? Hashtags sort these people out. Tell us where they've come from. So of course, if I'm using open house, this is probably an open house lead. So we'll hit enter. That'll be that. It could be that I'm using it on what is this? April 27th, 2024. If I want to I had an open house on this date, I'll hit enter. Am I making these disappear? I may have been, oh wait, there it is. And then so I have to tell it which smart number I want to use. And evidently I'm on a couple of them, but I'm going to use my office right here. You may see a couple of them. They say company, because evidently we have some company smart numbers too, but I'm not going to mess with those. And then I'm going to hit add and let's see what happens. Yeah, whoops, duplicated resource. So I got an error code. This text code already exists. So guess what? It's not in my list and I got to start all over. So that's why I wanted you guys to see that, because I want you to use something that someone else is probably not using. Now, for an open house, guess what? There's an address, right? For an open house. So let's do 1221 open. So we could tell people to type 1221 open, and then they would get this message. Okay. And again, do your hashtags, choose your smart number, then hit add, and then it'll appear in the list. Now, I want you guys to also know that you can have people, you can use these text codes to give out information, or to give the listing information, the MLS listing information for a particular listing to the person that is texting you. So an example would be text 12221 to this number in order to get this listing information, right? And guess what? All you have to do is enter an address or the MLS ID, and kvCORE will do the work for you. So if you want to share listings through this text or call capture feature, all you need is an MLS number or an address. And even if you know part of the address but don't know the whole address, there it is right there. And you just leave it there and add the hashtag to let them know which address it is. Make sure it needs hashtags. If you're doing like a buyer, you're lead generating for buyers, you might want to put buyer in there. You can get as specific as you want, but make sure that when you're sharing the listings that you use, at least create a hashtag for that address. Okay. And I think that address was like something like 12, whatever it was, I will put here as this hashtag. As a matter of fact, I'll show you one that I did already. Let's take a look at one I did. We had 10404 Superb Lane. I did the MLS. I put the MLS ID and I hashtagged it 10404 Superb Lane. I used my smart number and I just hit save. And when anybody texts this smart number, they will get this information. Now, y'all remember, kvCORE is intelligent, right? So if you yourself with your phone number try to do this, you are not going to get the result. kvCORE is going to tell you, this number is being used by a real estate agent. So you can't use it as the real estate agent that's already in kvCORE. Okay. So this is more generalized for contacts that's going into your database that are not EXP agents. So you wouldn't do something like this with your rev share downline or something like that, or your team members. You wouldn't tell them to text a smart number, because kvCORE is going to recognize them as a real estate agent and it's not going to work. All right. So more so for clients, maybe neighbors at an open house, if they want to text, or people who are attending the open house, instead of you printing out the MLS listing, you can tell them to text this code to this number and they will get the MLS listing right into their phone. Now, they are going to get the MLS listing that is your kvCORE website listing, kind of like the landing page version of the listing. Okay. So again, if they open that up and they push any of those buttons, like more information needed, schedule an appointment, anything of that nature, all of those messages and requests and information is directed right back to you. So these smart numbers also connect people to you. And when they do this, they then drop into your kvCORE as a contact as well. Now, it will only be the phone number, because of course we don't have anything but the phone number. So it will be up to you to follow up and have a conversation, a text conversation, of course, because it's in text message, in order to get the rest of the information. So you will want to build a follow-up system to this as well. All right. Any questions? Did I explain that well? Does anybody feel like they can do this with just the explanation I've given?
I'll ask you a
Steve,
question here.
yes.
Is like I've been kind of following along with you and sort of creating one of these custom text codes.
Uh-huh.
In the little box that popped up, where you're putting in the custom code, MLS number, at the very bottom, there's a section for smart number. In there's
Yes.
like a whole list of smart numbers.
Yes. So I would tell you to use your office one. These are company smart numbers. You can probably use this. I haven't tested these out, but I'm sure you can also use these. These are just the company smart numbers. So evidently EXP just has a few smart numbers themselves as well. They have a lot of them. But
Okay, yeah,
I
because
would use
here
my
on mine,
office
which is
one.
the unique thing, is I have three office numbers here. So I know like the one that appears under my name in kvCORE
Mm-hmm.
is here, but there's also two other numbers in addition to that one that all say office.
Are you
Didn't know if you
licensed
might
in
know what that
multiple
is.
states?
No, just Idaho.
No. Oh, okay. I wonder if they're three different are you guys regionalized? Does that term sound familiar at all by any chance? I don't know how big Idaho is, but are you like do you have regional do you have more than one broker in charge, managing broker?
There's just one broker for the state,
One. Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
I
I'm the new
don't
guy here,
know.
so
That's a good question.
I don't
Okay.
know.
No, but that's a good question. So I know I have two office ones because I'm licensed in two different states. But also in Charlotte, North Carolina, we have some regions. We're a huge area. Or North Carolina, I'm sorry, is a huge state. So they have multiple broker managers and managing brokers in a way that the it might also have something to do with the real estate commission as well, with their advertising and marketing laws. But I can't be 100% sure, Steve. But I would use the one that, like you said, is right here with your name first.
Already.
I'm sure you could use the other ones because they're in your account, but try to stick with that one as much as you can. But you know.
All right,
I'm
very
sure
good.
the
Thank
other
you.
ones will work too. You're welcome. Do you have any use you could think of off the top of your head that you would use these smart numbers for?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
I'm new to EXP, so I'm trying to figure out how to leverage these things to make sense and work for me.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I just the way that I just explained, like with these, just listing information. Could try just basically you're trying to collect information, you're trying to get context into your database, right? So maybe even like I choose a listing of the week, and I may say I may post it on social media, and I'll say text 10404 Superb Lane to receive the entire MLS listing. Not in those terms, but basically that's what I'm trying to say. To see all of the details, see more detailed information, or even that very first blurb that I showed you guys. Let me go back here. Oops. Let me see. Where am I? Here is where, oh, there we go. This one. This is a good way. Can you see that? Let me try to make it just a little bit bigger. Oh, maybe that might be too big. Interested in like just something general. They're interested. Actually, let me get rid of this. This view might be a little confusing for us. This is well, let me just stay here for a second before I mess something up. So if you see that little blurb there, that's a quick either text message. You can post that on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If interested in calling Charlotte your home, text listing to that number for exclusive details on our latest gem. So maybe even if you had like a new listing, you could reframe this conversation to, I just listed a home in Charlotte, text listing for exclusive detail, something of that nature. But it's really fascinating to be able to use these and how fast it works. I tested this with my significant other. So I had him to text listing to the smart number or 10404 Superb Lane to my smart number. And just like that, he was contacting my kvCORE, and he had a link to the listing in his phone, and we opened it up, and it was actually my kvCORE website that was sent to him with that listing. So I like it. I really like all these little fancy tools that are just so easy. Like, they always seemed complicated, or you always wondered where they come from. A lot of people use these on signs too, sign writers, for listings. If people, instead of using the paper, remember how or if you've ever seen the boxes where we used to print out listings and put them on the sign poles. Terry or Zelda, anybody remember those? Anybody still use those? Okay, yeah, because your papers got messed up in the rain, right? Sometimes. So now we don't have to worry about that. You can put a sign rider on the home. It'll say text Nakia E for more to this number for more information about this home, and then what they actually get the listing in their phones. So now we have digital paperwork or digital listings of readily available, and while we sleep or while we're minding our business, we have automation basically to our marketing systems. All right, anybody else have a question, or they want to run a scenario by us that they think they may be able to use this in?
Real quick, is there a QR code that would do this as well? So if you just printed out a QR code, it would automatically help them text to the smart number, or am I overthinking that?
No, I don't think you're overthinking that. Hold on, let me just take a look at this. My brain, my brain stops working after a certain few minutes of talking to you, Terry. So let me think how we would do this. No. If they wanted to text, let me see. I don't know if you can. I don't know. Has anybody connected a phone number to a QR code? Are you connecting a phone number to a QR code? Like, because when they're scanning the QR code, it's almost like they're going to websites. Drew has come off of mute. Drew,
well, I was thinking the same thing. But as far as like for QR codes, I would think that would be directing specifically to like the MLS listing, to send the site if you're hosting an open house, saying more info, text this to receive it from a text message, or scan the QR code to bring directly to the listing. But I was thinking actually the same question, and Terry beat me to it.
Okay. So what I was thinking about is in these messages is if we could add photos or like add a QR code or something there. But remember, if they're texting, they're on their phone. So it's kind of like when people always say, well, I can't scan the QR code because I'm already on my phone, right? When you send them a QR code to scan, but if they're already on it, if you're texting them a QR code to their phone, then it doesn't make sense because they can't use their phone to scan the QR code. Y'all following me?
Yeah, and it sounds like if you have them text you, you're going to capture their phone number much better than you would if you just sent them to a website. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So really this is, and it's exactly what it's called. Call capture, call and text capture. Let me go back to exactly what it's called. Call and text capture. So you're basically using these smart numbers to generate leads and to collect real cell phone numbers, because you know how people go into open houses and they don't give their real phone number, or they're online filling something out and they don't give their real phone number. Well, if they text to our smart number, then guess what? They don't even know that they've given us their phone number, right? We just get their phone numbers automatically. So that's what I like about the call and text capture, because we get the real phone number. So I used to want to use these before I had kvCORE open house app. And even still, because you guys know that people are still weary about even filling out that, if someone's weary about filling out that kvCORE open house form that they use, that we use at open house signups, if they just scanned a QR code as entry into the open house, then ultimately they're not really signing a sign-in sheet, right? But we're getting their phone number because they've scanned the QR code. I'm sorry, I went off track a little bit. They've scanned that QR code, or they did the call and text capture. I mean, they text this number. I'm sorry, Terry. I was looking at you and still thinking of QR codes. If we use the text open house 1 to this number as the entry for them to come into the open house, then we've captured their phone numbers. And then we can follow up later, right? After the open house or tomorrow, you know, if you're following up on Monday or something of that nature. So I still like this call and text capture for multiple things, not just the one thing. All right, and we got 9 minutes to go. I could stay a little longer because we were a little late today, but I want to show you guys how to take a listing and add it into Craigslist. Okay. Maybe you're looking for rentals. Maybe you want to advertise a listing. If you have listings, you know you're going to use your listings. I don't have listings, so I am going to filter to get my company listings because that's all I want to advertise because I want to stay in compliance with the law. I have a service area that I prefer. I have a farming area. So I am going to go and put my area right in here, the zip code 28215. And I am going to go down here and say apply filters. Then I'm going to find one of these agents who are my friend and already told me that I can advertise their listings whenever I wanted to. Hopefully I find one. Let's just see. I'm not recognizing any of these names. Let me make sure my filter worked. Hold on. Let me make sure. Yep, agency listings. All right, well, let me do this. I'm going to take out my area because evidently, let me see. I don't think something's not working. We don't have all these listings. No, we don't have all these listings in this zip code. Something didn't work. Oh yeah, they didn't do my filters. Hold on, y'all. I'm actually just going to find an agent I know. Let me do Shelly Johnson. I don't even think it took my wait a minute. Okay, there we go. I want houses listed by Shelly. And the reason I'm using this is because I have blanket permission to advertise and market any of her listings, by the way, y'all. So I already know that I could do her listings. Okay, perfect. All right, here's one in Charlotte. I am going to click on it. And don't forget, all of the actions we can take with this property is located right over here in this corner. And if you take a look at more actions, I can post this listing to Facebook. I can post this listing to Twitter, Pinterest. But today I am going to post it to Craigslist. Now, Craigslist and kvCORE are already connected because I've connected it. I had to take a couple of steps in order to connect it. I had to use an extension, a Chrome extension. That's why I'm in Chrome. And I have already set up my profile in Craigslist as well. That's why I'm able to do this with ease. And kvCORE has already pointed out some things that that they already know to include region, location, category. I am going to skip this because it looks like it's trying to use things from the last time I posted, and I'm just going to start new. Please limit each posting to a single area and category once per 48 hours. So we are on a limit. I am offering housing. So they already clicked just about everything. Did you guys see how fast that did that? They already have these listings set up. the way that they are supposed to post. So they were just communicating with like the MLS behind the scenes, but we saw just a little bit. And what they did is they pulled all of the listing information from MLS over to kvCORE. Okay. I'm sorry, over to Craigslist. So they took the description, which is here. They've got a map, and I'm going to talk about that call to capture number that you guys probably already saw. They took some features, put it here. They have my license number already here. They built out a headline for me. However, if I didn't like it or if I needed to change something, I can do that. I'm getting ready to show you how. And what they did is they automatically added text Nakia E to my smart number for details and photos of this listing. So there you go, Steve. That's what you can say. You can use this in like your captions, your you could, this is a call to action. So our call to action could be text Nakia E to 410 for details and photos of this listing. Whenever we're sharing listing information, right, or whatever we generate, I like to generate custom codes, because if they just text this, then shoot, I'm not even going to know why they are texting me, right? Because it's just going to be generalized. But I would probably just edit this to say, let's see, condo maybe.
Or if you
Text
didn't
condo.
have that code, it might go to somebody else without that code. Right?
Yes, but no, we have to set up the code. Don't forget, you're always going to set up the code before you share that message. So you'll never just say like text open house to 410-777 unless you have this already set up. So in general, it might be good to think about, some codes that you want to set up. Like today, you might want to just go in here and go ahead and set up four of them that you're going to use over and over and over. Now, when talking about each specific listing, or if I wanted to give this specific one a code, let's just go there. How about this? We are going to take this listing and make it, we're going to give it a text code. I thought they had the MLS listing in here. I don't see it. Hold on. Let me just hit edit. For some reason, I don't see the MLS number, which I thought is always in here. Because now, if you guys notice anything, they don't get the address to the home. Did you guys notice that? I don't think you noticed that. They get a zip code and they get a posting title. But if you want to add a neighborhood, you should add a neighborhood here. Or if we want to change the text code, we could change the text code here. So let me show you how I would do that real quick. I lost the listing, but let me go back and get the listing so I won't mess this up. I want to show you. Hold on. I'm going to go back to this listing, company listings. I'm going to find this listing that Shelly Johnson had. And it might help to have a pen and paper while you're doing this so you don't do what I just did, okay? Let me recommend that while we are talking. So have a pen and paper handy and write down the MLS code before we start pressing buttons. All right, hold on. All right, let me go back down here, find this lovely little condo. Okay, 715 North Church Lane. Because you saw how Craigslist basically got rid of all of that identifying information. And that's important on Craigslist or in general marketing, and for people to get back to us, okay? Because we don't want to give up too much information. We want them coming back to us. All right, so I have the MLS number and I have the address right here. I wrote it down this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and this might seem time consuming. It's just because I'm talking while I'm doing it. It's not that time consuming, to be honest with you. Look at this. We're going to do it real quick. Custom code may be church. Well, I don't want to say church condo because that is going to sound I'm gonna just say condo 715 because that's gonna sound like we're looking up churches. All right, and then I'm gonna do 412-7293. All right, they say they don't see that. Did I miss something? There we go. All right, and I'm going to make a hashtag 715 church. The hashtag is important because it is going into your database, okay? Which smart number, and I gotta fix that over there. I have a couple smart numbers. Matter of fact, let me just leave it what it is set up. Oh, I can't reach it. No, not on the computer. I'm just gonna fix my smart number when I get over there. So I'm gonna hit add. All right, so it's condo 715 to this number. And they are going to get the listing. I don't know why my hashtag didn't show up. Let me do that. Let me go back. I must didn't hit 715 church. I must didn't hit enter. And sorry, y'all, it's really small on my computer. Okay, there we go. Save. There we go. Okay. It's very important that you make sure you have a hashtag, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go back to Craigslist now. Let me copy this number first. I'm going to go back to Craigslist. And I'm going to fix my smart number first of all, because I have two. So if you guys noticed, it is giving my Maryland one, but I'm in North Carolina right now. So I am going to use my North Carolina smart number, and I'm going to say text condo 715. Oh, will help if I spelled that right. 715. Okay, to this smart number. All right. Also, if y'all see all this red stuff, I have grammar and punctuation, all of that. I can fix stuff. So because this description does come right from another agent, some of this information may not be correct or may not be grammatically correct. It may have a spelling error in it. So I always suggest taking a look at this itself. I went to share some of these and they still had like master bedroom, and we don't use the master bedroom anymore. But this is pointing out there's a couple of grammar errors and stuff, or I could use a little bit of something to spiff this up a little bit, but I'm going to leave it alone for sake of us being on our call. And here is also other information you can add to this listing. They already pull what they can pull from the MLS. They tell that I'm licensed. Here I am. If there is an open house date, or if it was coming soon, right? We could fill this stuff in. If there are multiple open house dates, we could fill that in, okay? Down here also with Craigslist, it's important for you guys to know that they're not giving out our email address, our real email address. With Craigslist, they always capture the information and then they send you an email to your email address. Okay, so they basically hide your email. So if you were worried about all of your personal information getting out on Craigslist or anything of that nature, it's all coded. All right, so for anybody that had problems with Craigslist or think that there are problems with Craigslist or the myth of Craigslist, Craigslist actually protects your information. However, they are going to give out the information that you want here, and you do, because you are a licensed real estate agent, you do have to add your license number. Okay, so it is important that you make sure you are staying in compliance with your local laws and that you are giving your license number. All right, so I'm going to hit continue. And I'm just going to leave this as is, but here is what my ad is going to look like. This will be on Craigslist. And then I'm going to hit publish. And if you were to look on Craigslist, you would find it. All right. And here's another one step further. Craigslist allows you to share this on Twitter, Facebook, other social media networks, or by way of email. Okay. Here you can manage your posts, and you can also see what your post looks like. Let's see what it looks like live and in person. Okay. So this is what people will see if they're on Craigslist looking for a home, or, you know, looking for rentals. I like rentals and all that good stuff. And if you see, they actually mask this as well until people start selecting. I mean, until people start clicking, so that it's just not on those spam systems and all that. You know how they have websites that scan websites for people's contact information and stuff. So they kind of help us out so that we shouldn't get too much spam. And just to be honest with you guys, I've been using this for over a month now. I'll show you that some of my listings have expired. This is how long I've been using it. And I haven't been spammed. I haven't gotten any scam calls. I've been good to go. Okay. And our listings are good for 45 days on social media. And this is how long it shows you how, I mean, on Craigslist, it shows you how many more days you have. So for me, because I only have 2 that are active, I would probably put a few more out there. Now, this would be good if anybody is a leasing agent. Oh my goodness, you would kill it over here on Craigslist if you were a leasing agent. And if we have anybody there or anybody in the property management, this would be really good. Or if you like rentals, and or if you like converting rentals into sales, hello, or doing a first rental, first lease, and then a sale, which is my specialty. I do leases, and then I turn them into home buyers. All right. Any questions, feedback? Anybody confused? Did we do too much? Every week I feel like it's just too much, but I'm telling you, if you take notes, you test these things out and you start using them, they really, really, really do work. How you feeling, Steve?
Is and right when you started talking about the Craigslist, I had somebody blow up my phone with text messages here. So you may have touched on it, but was there something in kvCORE that posted these 2 Craigslist for you, or were you going to Craigslist separately?
Yes. Nope. So go back to kvCORE. If you're on kvCORE, if you go to your all lead engine tools, right over here under your agent text code, it says your personal text code is Nakia E. You have to install this kvCORE Chrome extension. Okay. And it has to be done in Chrome. All right. Okay. And I apologize. I gave this out for homework last week, so I probably should have did it again before we started talking. But you're gonna just do this Chrome. Yes. Yep. And it's right here. This little button right here will show you all your extensions. And see, I got my kvCORE right there. So once you have this, and that's why it's going to be important. Whenever you do this, you have to do it in Chrome, in a Chrome browser, because when I first did it, when I first clicked it, I'll do another one just so I can show you, just so you can see. When you do this, it works. It works really quickly and does all of the things, and it just skips on through. So you miss it. If you're not watching, you miss it. Okay. I'm going to take Karen's listing. I know Karen, she won't care if I market her listing.
Okay. Well, the thing I missed was the extension part. So
yes. Yep. And just hit this button. Yep. Watch this. So it'll ask me if I want to reuse this data, but I don't. So I just always hit skip because I wanted to get the exact data from the listing, because I deal with listings in different areas. But watch this. See that I'm not touching anything. That's all the computer doing all of this. So you see, this would have been us having to do all of this work and manually upload all of this stuff. But the extension from kvCORE to Craigslist did all of that for me. So I just sat back and watched it do the work.
I like that. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And the only thing too with you, Steve, because you have all those smart numbers, check the smart number, make sure it's the one you want to use. Because for me, it's not the one I want to use because it's doing my Maryland one, and I moved from Maryland to North Carolina. But I'm not going to call kvCORE and try to get it fixed. I'm just going to pay attention to this and make sure I use it, make sure I correct it.
There you
Since
go.
I work in multiple offices, just make sure it's the one you want to use. But yeah, it does all the work. We can edit images, we can edit location, we can edit the whole entire post. I really like this little thing here for lead generation. Like that, kvCORE promised us lead generation, and I think they deliver. I think we just don't accept the delivery. We are not home to sign for the package. Is what I think is just all about us, right, Terry? Is that the best way I can explain it? We just didn't sign for the package. We let it go back to the post office, and then the agents complain about EXP. But if we use these tools, like we are really, really, really set up for success. Like I am truly impressed. I don't know if I shared, Steve, you might not know my background. I was a broker manager at another company before I came to EXP. And I am truly impressed with all of these tools. Oh, were you? Oh, we got something in common. We had to talk offline. Might even be the same company. Who knows?
It might
We'll
be.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll have to talk offline. I'm gonna work chat you and see where you came from. Yeah, but any questions or anything, any feedback, any key takeaways? I know we lost some people, but I'm glad you guys got to stick around. Anything, Terry? I know you just, I just keep blowing your mind every single week, right? At least you leave with a smile. You leave with a smile every time. That's why I keep coming back. So thank you so much.
No, this has been awesome. I'm learning more about kvCORE than I ever thought I would. So this is great.
Good. Cari will be happy. Cari will be so happy and proud. And she thought about this, and she thought that this was the next thing that you guys needed. So I'm happy to help and happy to come back week after week. I think we have another week left, if I'm not mistaken. And if you guys have questions or have something that you want to concentrate on for next week, work chat me or have it ready when we come back here next Thursday, and I'll leave it open for Q&A and for specific things that you want help with.
What is work chat?
Oh, work chat is in Workplace. It's out. Do you use Workplace? Yeah.
I've been with EXP for like a week and a half. So
so you are not even ready yet. Okay. All right, Steve.
I've been in workforce once.
Forgive me. All right. So we have work chat. It's like our Facebook, the Facebook kind of app. And it's so work chat is the messaging piece of that. So you're probably getting all kind of emails and you don't know where they're coming from. They're coming from
I've got a
Workplace
fire
and work
hose
chat.
3 inches from my face and I'm
Oh
drowning.
yeah, well, so we got to get you. So write this down, because what you want to do today is to fix your notifications in Workplace, because otherwise it's going to drive you up the wall. And if you want, I'll stop the recording and we can finish this class, and I'll actually help you with that. Let me turn this recording off.
Well, I think that was the
And
first
I
thing
will
I
help
did
you.
when I first joined, because I started getting so many things, and I think it was Cari